DANSPLAINING. I'm going to do my best to keep you abreast of last week's GameStop stock situation. As someone who's made $37.65 trading futures on the stock market, I think it's safe to say I have the credentials to explain some of these concepts.
So here's me, Bobby in a bubble bath to explain.
Basically, some institutional Wall Street hedge funds shorted a bunch of mall core nostalgia brands suffering under the pandemic. GameStop, AMC. The first thing I did was go and see if Hot Topic is publicly traded. It's not. Shorting a stock gets its name from being a hedge fund manager with a penis so short you sell shares you don't actually own to try and make a beloved company go bankrupt. I'm sorry for body shaming. All penises are valid. Until an aggregate of small potatoes, neat freak retail traders called their bluff and brute forced GameStop into a $20 billion company. All these retail traders, assholes like me with the Robinhood app and a little bit of stimulus money to gamble, got together and said they could squeeze the short, all buy enough of the stock to make line go up instead of down. And when the squeeze is squoze, all these hedge funds have to buy out their positions. It could, in theory, cause a chain reaction, bankrupting hedge fund after hedge fund all the way up to the Fed. And it did actually cause a hedge fund called Melvin to go into insolvency. Of course, it was bailed out by a company called Citadel, Robinhood's sugar daddy, who pays Robinhood's bills to know what traders are trading before the trades happen. More than anything, it goes to show that the stock market isn't real. The premise of a free market regulating itself is magical thinking, and we're living in a bubble. It started on a Reddit board called Wall Street Bets. Now a bunch of hedge fund psychos are going on the news lamenting that this is the greatest moral crisis of our lifetime.
The reason the market is doing what it's doing is people are sitting at home getting the checks from the government, and this fair share is a bullshit concept. It's just a way of attacking wealthy people, and I think it's inappropriate. We all got to work together and pull together.
Aww. There's already a chorus of blue and unbrained libs intimating that Russia might be behind it.
I don't even know if there are foreign powers at work here behind the scenes trying to make chaos of our markets.
A bunch of amateur investors, maybe even some Russian disruptors, decided to screw over the hedge fund guys.
Lesbian Joker said it was a ban-in psyop. This guy in a cow suit said people should be banned from talking about stocks online. Someone floated the idea that it's anti-Semitism somehow, which is itself like a pretty anti-Semitic take. Hey, someone's stealing from all the bloodthirsty ghouls that control all the money in Wall Street. Hey, that's anti-Semitic, huh? There are comparisons being made to the Capitol siege. I would say true in as much as it represents meme spaces being brute forced into reality. CNN just shit out a terrific think piece comparing the anti-establishment sentiment of this moment to Trumpism broadly. Here, I'll read a little bit of that. It's worth noting that Reddit was also a gathering spot for some of the most ardent Trump supporters in 2016. Reddit is a gathering place for all sorts of people. Fedora atheists, bestiality apologists. You're doing diversity erasure. The point is that there's no real point besides showing up the pros, proving to them that they aren't as smart as they think they are and that they don't have the ability to control everything, which again has its roots in Trumpism. The entire notion of Trump's candidacy and presidency was to stick it to the elites. Stop making Trump sound cool. I swear to God, I give it a week or two before Pelosi or the Biden admin announce they're canceling the stimulus checks until the American people can be trusted not to use that money to undermine our most sacred financial institutions. The Wall Street Bets Reddit and Discord server were shut down at the height of the coordinated squeeze. The company said the deplatforming wasn't because they were doing stonks wrong, but because of hate speech, because members of the group affectionately refer to themselves with the labels autist and retard. It's a good example of arbitrary selective enforcement of sweeping new censorship rules that, let's be honest, a lot of you were applauding after the Capitol. Also, get saying stonks out of your system as fast as you can. It's gonna age like the Borat voice.
So here's the GameStop controversy, broken down for conservatives who don't get gaming and don't get stonks. And yes, I said stonks. stocks. She got a stonk. She got a stonk. Now stonk with it. Go stonk with it. Get stonky with it.
Stonks so much. Liz Warren said there's wealthy people on both sides.
People are liking to tell a David versus Goliath story, but are you entirely sure that's right? That there are wealthy people on both sides?
Which sounds like Trump's Charlottesville line.
There are rich people on both sides of this, people who are trying, it appears, to manipulate this market.
But it's true, only a portion of the people involved were Reddit traders. Elon Musk chimed in at some point to be like, this is like epic bacon. And all the simps were like, Daddy Elon's gonna take us to the moon. But it's worth pointing out that Tesla's PE ratio is like 1,000 to 1. That's the difference between what the stock's actually valued at and the earnings the company actually makes. So Tesla's also a meme stock. And it's not surprising that he would have a vested interest in a situation where a profoundly overvalued stock is something cool. Warren also took this opportunity to call on the SEC to step in and regulate, calling the stock market a casino.
What has happened is it's turned into a casino.
Which is odd because Native Americans have made tremendous gains in the casino industry.
It's bad for Wall Street, but ultimately it's bad for our country.
But I mean, she's right. On some level, it is a casino. Apps like Robinhood are certainly gamified like a casino, but I'm all in. I've put about a stimulus check worth of money into this. I could lose it all. I'm just happy to be a part of history. I just love movies. I want to see movies come back.
I love movies. Smell in Blockbuster. That candy and carpet smell, I get high off.
Well, the fix is in. Next day update. I have not slept, I look like shit, I feel like shit, and the meme stocks have gone to shit. Now the SEC is stepping in to try and freeze trading because it's okay when Wall Street manipulates the market, but when peasants do it, I don't know, what do you call that, outsider trading? And from there, things got ugly. Insiders are leaking info that the White House and some VC called Sequoia spoke with Robinhood, pressuring them to halt all purchases, all trading of the handful of meme stocks. Well, no, you can close out your position, you can sell them and drive the price down, you just can't buy any. Flatten the curve, which, very bad optics. Very, very bad optics. But yeah, as much as I'd like to believe that it's all just a big conspiracy and Robinhood doesn't want you to make money, it has a lot more to do with the fact that they risk a liquidity crisis if they can't mitigate counterparty risk exposure and the demands of the clearinghouses by halting trading, clearing accounts, literally selling your shares for you. Remember in Ocean's 11 when they said,
the Nevada Gaming Commission stipulates that a casino must hold in reserve enough cash to cover every chip it play on its floor.
That's not actually true when it comes to casinos, but in the case of Robinhood, it all involves a very tenuous, wishy-washy definition of ownership, where the stocks you buy with a margin account on Robinhood are all borrowed and brokered and leveraged against others. And in extreme situations, if they can't put up the cash to handle unprecedented volatility like with GME, they all get fucked. Blah, 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 cascading margin calls, clearinghouses demanding more collateral. I don't fucking know. I mean, it's all a house of cards. Now it's become kind of a tug of war between the past, establishment, Wall Street traders, and the future, I guess. It's become a personal vendetta. And I'm going to preemptively say I fully expect the media's coverage after the dust settles on this to spin focus on shaming individual retail investors who lost a good amount of money, framing it all as a misguided, selfish, get-rich-quick scheme, and doing everything they can to erase the undercurrent of some semblance of class justice.
But remember the other half of this. There are going to be a lot of people who are going to lose money around this, a lot of money that they can't afford to lose.
But after spending the last couple days in these subreddits and Discord servers, it's pretty clear that for a lot of people involved, this isn't about seeing a return on investment. It's punitive. These are asymmetric warfare tactics, and they'll take a loss if it means they can punish some of the people who stole their future, because we're too small to fail. Because these are people who have nothing to lose, for whom the difference between having $50 or $500 at the end of the day is not going to affect the material conditions of their lifestyle all that much. Who've gotten a raw deal for most of their lives, are now stuck at home during COVID, and might as well put it all on black, especially if it means sticking it to the man. And to be clear, this is not comprehensive redistributive justice. The worker revolution won't be won by saving private companies from bankruptcy, although this may have done that. But I mean, it's cute. There's no harm in supporting a beloved company of yesteryear that employs a lot of neuroatypical individuals. I like the stock. Now all these young amateur traders who grew up in the howling void of the last recession are scrawling all these revolutionary manifestos, which I've been having a lot of fun reading in the Neo at the end of the Matrix voice.
It's me, Keanu Reeves. This is personal for all of us. A tug of war between tradition and the future. They truly believe that we, the average retail investors, don't know anything about finance or the market, which may be true. They're scared of the future. They're scared because so much information is available for free now. This is all the money I have, and I'd rather lose it all than give them what they need to destroy me. I'll burn it all down just to spite them. This is for you, Dad.
I don't know why I always make a Matrix comparison in these. I have seen other movies. It is a little embarrassing that a mentally ill flash mob at the Capitol and then a bunch of Redditors were able to accomplish more direct action than a left wing that's either being deplatformed out of existence or assimilated into the bubble art infographic liberalism that's conflated for an actual progressive left in this country. It also demonstrates what I keep harping on, which is that class justice is not a partisan issue, and that the color-coded political binary we operate under is a smokescreen, conflating controlled opposition between left and right for the real struggle, which has always been between top and bottom. And we're all bottoms, baby. So that's the general rundown. I'll leave you with a few more insider secrets to research if you want to become a power player. Power player in Stonks. Brah, brah, brah. Big warm welcome to all the newcomer traders entering the market for the first time after GameStop went to the moon. Knowing where to invest your money can feel overwhelming for inexperienced investors. But fun fact, the CIA actually keeps a list of the most promising new publicly traded companies worth buying. Just look up CIA GLADIO, which stands for Guaranteed List of All Developing Investment Opportunities. Robinhood's claim to fame is that it charges no commission fees for retail traders, many of whom are disenchanted with the shady way that the app does turn a profit by selling user data to power players who can see their trades before they actually happen. If you're looking for an alternative to Robinhood, look up Shadow App IOWA, which stands for Initial Offer Without a Lot of Money. Trying to make sizable gains as a new trader can feel like trying to squeeze blood out of a stone, which is why the SEC will match the gains of any trader who's been on the market for under 6 months. Just look up Operation Bloodstone. New investors who open up an account with Citibank can have their kitchen cabinets redone for free thanks to a stimulus program started back under the Obama era. Just Google Obama Citibank cabinet donations.